Hi folks, it's Marilyn, and I just got done a few minutes ago going to Walmart and taking a picture, of myself next to the urinal. And if you're wondering, I had to squat because I'm so freaking tall with my heels that I couldn't get me and the urinal in the picture. But yes, that is a urinal in the back of the picture. Hi me, hello! And yes, this is that dress. And just to prove it's a dress, oh, and yes, I didn't do my nail polish too great. Yeah, my legs are still beat up from work, etc., etc. And hopefully I got semi-decent view of it. And yes, this is what I wore in the men's bathroom at Walmart, taking a photo of myself next to a urinal. Huh! So that was an experience. Yesterday I had a rough day at work at Uber. I know I may not do it anymore. I was late and it was just a fiasco. They'll put it that way. Sorry, lady. Didn't mean to be late. I was really trying. It just, If you're wondering, I didn't wear this because essentially you have to match your ID, and of course my ID is my driver's license, and my driver's license is male. So, therefore, guess what? You get to drive as male in my particular case. And if you're wondering why I took a picture of myself next to a urinal, it's kind of a trend, shall we say, in the transgender community. Basically, a lot of states are saying that, if you're born male, you have to always use the men's room, even if you've undergone a sex change and you're now a woman, or vice versa. So you can potentially, be like me and end up rocking a dress at a urinal. Well, at least if you're a guy. As I guess if you've fully transitioned into a woman, then you'd be rocking one of the stalls in the men's restroom. Have fun with that. They're usually disgusting. And I do mean disgusting. Bang! I won't describe it. It'll cause you nightmares. Anyway. So, I decided to add my humble little self, as Miss Piggy would say, to the collection of transgender, or in my case, cross-dressers, and some people still will argue until the end of time whether or not I'm transgender, to the list of people that have taken their photos next to wherever they're supposedly supposed to be. Obviously, in this outfit, I look a wee bit out of place in the men's room. Just a little. Just a smidge. Don't know why. I mean, I only got heels on and a dress and, bra. Panties, if you really have to know. Nothing big. Just hanging out in the men's room. With my heart going, and me trying to get a photo going and fucking So if I don't look very happy in my photo, it's because it's like, I just want to get the photo and get the freak out of here. Thank you very much. I didn't really have to pee. It was just part of the protest or the movement or whatever you want to call it. Oh, well, saying movement in a bathroom may not be the right word, right? Whatever. Protest. There we go. Oopsie. Sorry, child humor. What else? And so, I'll have to debate whether I want to drive with Uber again. Because I have to drive in mail. It's just like I get to do enough stuff in mail. Trust me. In my mail clothes, I should say. Or people won't recognize you, because you have to, like I say, you have to match your photo ID. And like some people cannot recognize me like this. Like my banker. Or the person at the bank. Last week. They're like, you sure the same person? It's like, yes, I'm the same effing person. I just have a wig on, some lipstick, a dress, and heels and a bra. And I usually wear panties. But not like you can see my panties anyway. Unless you're looking at my dress. In which case, stop it. Anyway, what else? Um, so I'll debate the Uber thing. I don't know if transgender people want me protesting along with their protest, but I'll throw my picture in and let the chips fall where they may, as they say. Oh yeah. On kind of a bizarre note, there was two boxes in the back of one of our U-Haul trucks, and of course, I just assumed they are empty and full of junk. As the usual too. Either they're completely empty or they just have a whole lot of junk in the box, right? So I go to lift one of them because, you have to clean out the truck. Well, obviously you have to get the boxes out to clean out the truck. So it kind of makes sense. Anyway, I go to lift one of the boxes and it's like, this thing is not empty. So I pack it to the end of the truck and sit it at the end of the truck. And I grab the other box and pack it to the end of the truck and sit it on the other box. And then I sit them both on the ground when I'm done. And then I grab what we call a utility doll. It's basically to move around boxes and stuff. It has a handle and wheels. Kind of handy. And so I put them on that and I roll it around because there's no way I'm packing those two heavy boxes any further than I have to. Why? I do enough hard work. Not gonna make my life harder, as my dad would say. Work smarter, not harder. So, use your head other than a hat rack. Or maybe a wig rack in my case. And so, I pack them inside. I tell my boss, whose name's Doug, I'm like, hey Doug, these two boxes got left in the truck, and there's something in them. And he's like, well, what's in them? And I'm like, that's a good question. So, I cut open one of them. Because, how else you going to know what's in it, you cut open the tape and everything. Oh, it's a bunch of kitchen stuff, like food, like you'd have in your cupboard. Nothing special. He's like, oh, okay, So later on, he calls the customer, hey, this is Doug at U-Haul. We have your stuff, you accidentally left it in the back of your truck. Because people leave stuff in the back of the truck. Big shot. If you want it, come and get it, and I'll keep it for you for a couple days. The only reason he says a couple days is if you've never been to our U-Haul location, it's very small. And we don't have a lot of storage space. We just don't, okay? And so it's just kind of a necessity we can't keep it forever, right? We don't have the room. We just don't. And so, I kind of forgot about it because I figured, I'll come get it. If I had forgot 2 boxes of stuff, I'd come get it when I could, as soon as I could, obviously, depending on my schedule and all that, So, whatever. So, that was Saturday. The rest of Saturday passes, They don't come in. It's like, whatever. Sunday, I'm off work. Monday, the boxes are still there, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. And it was kind of slow, because Mondays are usually. And Duggar and I are taking a relaxing break, underneath the awning of the building, just, kind of chilling out. Two dudes, just chilling out. And Doug, I don't think knows I cross-dressed, but if he finds out, whatever. Anyway, so we're just sitting there chilling out, kind of our little porch, so to speak. And Doug was like, what do you think we should do with those boxes? And I think he was just hinting please take them, please. And I said, well, if it's okay with you, because of course he's the boss, not me, and no one picks them up, I'll go through them, I'll keep whatever I can, I'll donate whatever I don't want, and if there's anything left over, I'll probably have to throw it away, because I was figuring it'll probably be a lot of junk, no biggie. So he's like, okay, if no one comes in for it by tomorrow, which was Tuesday, of course, just take it. And I'm like, okay, or take them, since there's 2 boxes. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. And so Tuesday rolls around, the boxes are still there. I decided to leave them there for the majority of the shift, try and give the person the most amount of time I can. And near the end of the shift, I pull up my car to the front of our location, and again grab a utility dolly, put the boxes on the dolly, and wheel them out to my car, and then load them into the car. Because again, I'm not going to pack them any further than I have to, and then of course pack the utility dolly back inside and leave it inside because I'm not going to pay the rent to the thing. Because I just had to move them through the garage of my mom's house. So anyway, I get home, and I pack in 2 boxes of stuff. And they're big boxes, they're like, I don't know, maybe about 3 feet long, 2 feet high, maybe about 2 feet wide. Pretty big boxes, pretty heavy. And, I bring them down inside and set them down because, I figure I'm going to go through them. Now my mom, of course, clean freak of the universe, doesn't want to wait. And of course, I'm trying to eat because I'm hungry. Big shock after working all day. Anyway, so, of course they're already open because I opened both of them eventually to find out what was another one. More kitchen stuff. And she just starts pulling out bag after bag of drink mix and instant potatoes or boxes of spaghetti and cocoa mix and just box or bag after box after bag, and you're kind of, at least I'm eating and I'm watching her, and it's kind of like one of those magicians where they keep pulling the handkerchiefs, and you're like, how many handkerchiefs are hooked together, kind of thing. You just keep watching her pull stuff. And then, of course, eventually she gets done with that box, and almost everything is good. There's only, I don't know, probably less than 2 items, let's say, in the first box that are bad, that we don't want. Yeah. And so she starts on box number 2, Again, more, instant potatoes, more, drink mix, more cocoa mix, more spaghetti, various other things, But, all food-related items. Keeps pulling it out, and you're just sitting there going, what in the blue blazes is going on? And she just keeps pulling stuff out. She keeps putting it away, putting it away. And finally she gets done with box number 2. By the time she got done with box number 2, there was maybe 5 items or so that we didn't want, or, were like, probably just not worth it, because with food you can potentially have, insects, or, it can go bad, or if you're not sure, let's just put it this way, it's better to throw it out, right, people? So that's the essentially the precept we worked under. But, still it was only like 5 things or so that were, not worth keeping, essentially. Other than a box of iced tea that we have no idea what to do with. We don't drink iced tea. So I'll have to try and figure out somewhere to pawn that off on, or potentially throw it away if I can't. And, my mom are sitting there and thinking, talking, back and forth. And, of course, mom's usually the ones buying groceries, and I bought, a few groceries for, my kids in the past and stuff, And so, I have a rough idea of food values. It's been a few years, granted, but, rough. And, of course, my mom buys food all the time, so she really knows food values. And we're like, there's probably approximately, if you had to buy everything that we saved out of those 2 boxes, about $200 worth of food or food-related items. Yeah. And they just left it. It's like, what the... Bleep! And, so anyway, we will not need drink mix, we only not need spaghetti, and we will not need instant potatoes for the foreseeable near future at all. Yeah. So that was bizarre. Oh, and cereal. There's other things, but those are the main things I remember pulling out. And soup, and, just... stuff you'd literally find in somebody's kitchen. If you open somebody's cupboard and we're looking for food-related items, it'd probably be there most likely in most people's house. Well, depending on what they ate, but you get the point. So that was bizarre. So my mom, thanks to me and Doug and some customer that apparently was, I don't know, a little out there. My mom got, like I say, roughly 200, maybe a little more, dollars worth of food. So that was a bonus, because my mom's not rich, and let's face it, neither am I. And $200 worth of food is, well, $200 worth of food. So anyways, I guess I've bored you all long enough. Hope you all have a good weekend. I'll be pumping propane again. Debating whether to continue being an Uber driver. I don't know. And feeling bad about being late for the one person. Well, I was a little late for another person, but that's another story. And it wasn't nearly as bad as the other one. It was just a fairly bad first day. We'll just leave it at that. Anyway, it's Marilyn saying, hoping you have a good weekend. Talk to you later, and goodbye for today.